Hello there. Pause for a second, stop scrolling, and spend the next couple of minutes with us because you will learn a lot and it will be fun. My name is Maggie Perotin. I'm a business and leadership coach, owner of Stairway to Leadership, and here's my guest.
Hey, Gabby Barta. Hi. Intuitively spiritual coach of and clearing money blocks for people.
Welcome, Gabby. Welcome. We're both members of Business Advisory Networking Group, and this is a rapid fire interview with Gabby. So, Gabby, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go. So, in less than a minute or about a minute, can you just tell us your path to becoming money mindset coach?
Yeah. So I've been a coach for 13 years now. I was pretty young when I started, 29 years-ish. And coaching was my passion. And I was like, yeah, so just when you follow your passion, money just comes to me, with ease. And it was not coming to me with ease. So I was like, what the hell is happening here? So what's going wrong? So then I started, I thought, the problem is me. I'm maybe not a good coach yet. So I need to learn more. So I started learning more and taking more courses, hoping that, money will flow. Yet it was not the case yet. And then I was thinking, okay, so maybe it's marketing and sales. Maybe I need to master marketing and sales. So I did a lot of marketing and websites and all the jazz. It was, still improving, but, money and clients were still not coming. I still had a main job and coaching was my side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I recently, like around 4 or 5 years ago, I met a new modality where you can look into your subconscious money blocks or other stuff as well. And this is where I discovered I have some craziness going on in my subconscious around money, where I still live in scarcity and, the pattern of never enoughness. And once I was able to transform it for myself, it finally shifted. I was able to leave my day-to-day job and, just doing business as a full time.
Awesome. Great. So you live in Europe. I used to live in Europe. So what is your favorite place to visit in Europe?
Oh, good question. My favorite place I think my recent favorite place is Slovenia, which is the neighboring country here of Hungary. Slovenia is a little country, but has everything. So it's like very green. It has a lot of water and trees and mountains. It's a very, very lovely place. Yeah.
Awesome. I actually never been to Slovenia, but Poland, so I'm originally Polish, also borders with Slovenia. So we have like Poland, Slovenia, and then there you go. Hungary is right there. Okay.
Yeah.
So talking about Hungary, what is your favorite Hungarian dish? I want to know.
My favorite Hungarian dish. There is one that I love the goulash. That's the typical one. We all love it. And there is another one that's called lecho, which is a mixture of vegetables.
Yes, we eat that in Poland too. I love it too.
You have that too?
Yeah.
And how do you call it? Do you call it lecho as well?
We call it lecho, so I guess we borrowed it from Hungary.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Love it. Okay, so let's go back to mindset talk. So what are maybe the three main mindset blocks that you're seeing in your clients? And if you could give 3 tips for people who are watching to help them deal with that.
Yeah, so one of the typical ones that I mentioned also in my story, where there is a pattern of there is never enough, like never enough money, never enough clients. And that can manifest in 2 ways. It can either manifest where people really, they don't have enough money coming in, but it can also show up where, people have lots of money coming in, but they spend it immediately. So at the end, they still have not enough. Or it can also show up in a way where I worked with some millionaires as well, where they have, lots of money, but emotionally they are still stressing about it. So in terms of energy, they are still in this not enoughness. They are afraid of the future or whatever. So the biggest thing would be, or like the easiest mantra that people can use is simply say, there is enough. There is enough of clients. There is an abundance of clients. And I like to think of, money as water or air or sunshine. So just when you go to sunshine, even if I take a lot of sunshine, there is still left for you. So there is an abundance of that. And just embrace the money just the same as we embrace air or sunshine.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. That's a great way to think about it. Okay, so another thing we have in common is the fact that we lived under the communist regime, right? So sometimes I get asked like, hey, how was it? What do you remember? So if you can share like one memory, whether it's like crazy or funny, whatever you have from the communist regime, share with us.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually, my story is a bit one level more complicated because I was born in, Soviet Union.
Okay.
I was born in a place which it belonged to Hungary, but then it was given to Soviet Union after the World War.
Okay.
So I remember, learning Russian, my first language, but also at that time when I was little, Soviet Union was falling apart and Ukraine was created. So I remember the funny story. I was pretty good at Russian, and then my lady teacher just came in and she said, "Hey, Ukraine is here, so now you need to learn a new language and not Russian anymore." And I was so disappointed because I wanted to learn Russian. And then, of course, we had this crazy inflation going on where all the money that we had before was not worth almost anything. So that was like, a sad story where we also, as a family, we had like a pretty good amount of money, but then it was, simply just almost nothing.
I remember Poland had a pretty crazy inflation as well, and then they had to do
Yeah.
reforms, right? Because you were counting in, I think, tens of thousands and millions of the currency, and it was worth like this much ultimately when
Yes.
you started.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool. That's cool. I learned Russian for about 3 or 4 years because that was a mandatory language as well before the communist regime collapsed. So I can still like kind of understand it and maybe say, but like the letters, I forget. But that's cool. We should
Yeah.
try. Okay. One last question to practice for fun. One last question. How did you find Bang? Because you're in Europe, Bang as a networking group. I guess it's based out of Greater Toronto area. And what do you like about it?
Yeah, so I think I have to thank this to COVID time, which started, which was a very painful period. But this was the time when my coaching business was able to go international. And before that, before the COVID, everybody wanted to see a coach or a therapist in person. But after and during COVID, this has shifted. So I was able to connect with Canadian people, and I think one of them referred me to Bang.
Okay.
And I love Bang because it's very lovely. There are lots of lovely people, and also they're all about help, supporting each other. So it's not just like let's do business and let's make money. It's also about how to connect and serve each other.
Oh, great. Well, thank you for doing this with me. It's been a pleasure. And thank you, everybody, for listening.